Scouting reports from Camden Yards tonight after the game on Fox 5.
From high above Oriole Park at Camden Yards, Jimmy Key goes to work. He is no stranger to the postseason. We'll give you a look at the Indians lineup. The lineup he will face here tonight. They lead it off with Bip Roberts in left field. Omar Vizquel batting second and short. Manny Ramirez is hitting third and right. Matt Williams cleaning up at third. David Justice is the DH. Sandy Alomar catching. Tony Fernandez likes to hammer left-handed pitching. He is in the lineup against Jimmy Key tonight with Kevin Seitzer at first. Marquise Grissom in center field batting in the 9 position. And a look at the Baltimore defense. Cal Ripken 6 assists last night, tying an ALCS record for third baseman in a 9-inning game. And the rest of the defense around Ripken, you get a look at it. These guys playing behind left-hander Jimmy Key.
Jimmy Key, very, very important to master the outside part of the plate to right-handed batters tonight. He will come in occasionally. And Davey Johnson telling us that if his changeup, if he can throw his changeup over early in the ball game, early in the count, he's going to have a successful game. But prior to tonight, he has had a difficult time with his off-speed stuff.
We're going to look at the scouting report for Jimmy Key. Sinking fastball down and away to the right-handers. We talked about that. Big curveball, very good changeup, an occasional cutter he'll try to run in on the right-handed hitters. Good pickoff move, good fielder, and he must establish low in the strike zone. If you get the ball up in this ballpark, especially if you're working that outside corner against this Indians right-handed heavy lineup, he could be in a lot of trouble.
Bip Roberts will lead it off, hitting over 300 in this postseason, with Vizquel and Ramirez to follow here in game 2. Indians down a game. And a strike from Jimmy Key. We remind you this broadcast is also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. The 0-1 to Bip Roberts. Strike 2. Right-hander Charles Nagy. He will be on the mound tonight for the Indians. Home plate umpire tonight, as Tim told you, Jim Joyce, with John Hirschbeck at first. Wood Merrill at second, Larry McCoy at third, Mike Riley down the line in left, Joe Brinkman down the line in right. One away.
That part of the plate strike. One more toward the corner, and watch this fastball tailing away to Bip Roberts. May have been a little outside. You can see Roberts stepping across and looking at it. That ball was right there.
Roberts looking for consolation over on the bench as Vizquel digs in and takes a strike.
All fastballs so far from Jimmy Key. When you're hitting those kind of locations, there's no reason to go to anything else. He's going to try to cut one inside here.
And Vizquel lets it hit him, so Omar will trot down to first, and the Indians with a first-inning base runner.
I think you call that properly too, Joe. Let it hit him because he did not appear to get out of the way of the ball. Of course, that ball, when it's right there at that part, right at the left shoulder, the lead shoulder, it has a tendency to freeze a hitter.
So Vizquel on at first with one out here in the first for Manny Ramirez, who has not had a good postseason, hitting only $125. 2 for 5 in game 1 of the division series with the Yankees, 1 for 19 since.
Bob, I think your point about Manny Ramirez was well taken. If Jimmy Key pitches Ramirez the same way he pitches Bip Roberts, Ramirez is going to get him and hit it hard.
Pitch out from Chris Hoiles right there. You can see Vizquel dancing around at first base, and Rafael Palmeiro with that very unusual style of holding runners. He many times will come up in front of first base. He'll come off the bag with the runner. And you see him wandering off there along with the runner. Jimmy Key with a very good pickoff move.
Keeping it away and a count 2-0.
Well, in a way, he can use that positioning to decoy the runner. When Jimmy Key brings that right leg up in the air, Palmeiro was breaking back towards first base and actually froze Vizquel on that pitch.
He actually assists Jimmy Key in his pickoff move.
And a check on Vizquel, who stole a career-high 43 bases during the regular season.
You're the base runner at first base. You not only have to look at Jimmy Key, you have to look at the first baseman, too.
Jimmy Key's got a variety of moves to first base. He's a very crafty pitcher out there, and he knows the value of that pickoff move, not only to pick guys off, but to hold runners close.
3-0, the count on Manny Ramirez, and Jimmy Key is working his way into first inning trouble.
Well, this is Jimmy Key's normal delivery to home plate. You can see he hangs that leg up in the air, tries to freeze the runner at first base. He will step towards first on one pickoff move very deliberately, very slowly, and then another time he will come down very quickly with that front leg and snap a throw over to first base.
3-0, the count on Ramirez, taking 3-1. On deck, the cleanup hitter, Matt Williams.
Dangerous situation right here. 3-1. Probably will come in with a fastball. Location very, very important right here. We talked about this before. I don't think this is a running situation. I think a guy who's as good a hitter as Manny Ramirez should be allowed to choose a pitch instead of having the extra distraction of watching the runner out the corner of his eye.
3 balls and a strike on Manny Ramirez. Into center field, well hit. Brady Anderson at the track at the wall. He won't get this one. Manny Ramirez, a 2-run first inning home run. And the Indians jump out in front here in game 2.
Ramirez hit the ball to right center field last night in the first inning. That Brady Anderson climbed the wall, made the great catch, saving a home run, but not even Brady Anderson could climb up that high. That ball was a towering drive to center field.
And Omar Vizquel was not running. Ramirez had a chance to choose his pitch, and did he ever choose it properly?
Fastball out over the plate, allowed him to extend his arms. That's his strength, is going from center field around to the right field corner. When he tries to pull the ball, he's going to get in trouble.
His first postseason home run this postseason here in 1997, 6th.
Come on, man.
And it gives the Indians a 2-0 first inning lead here in game 2.
And Bob, you said it in the opening. You said a guy like Ramirez has to step up, and Jimmy Key's the right guy to step up against.
Yeah, they call it getting well. When you're not hitting well, your bat is sick, and you're looking for somebody to get well against.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Williams. Wouldn't mind a little medicine either. Only 5 out of 20 in the postseason.
Doctor.
That's strike 2 on Matt Williams.
Now, Williams is another right-handed hitter who has tremendous power to the opposite field when he's swinging right. Like a lot of big, strong hitters, he has a tendency to want to pull the ball too much, but when he's going right and hitting the ball to the opposite field, he can hit with power to center and right center.
One out, nobody on here in the first inning. Indians lead by 2. And a 2-2 count on Matt Williams.
You see a defensive chart in the Baltimore dugout. What they want to do defensively depending on the count and the hitter.
They can't defend that either. Matt Williams, a base hit to left field. A hit batsman A home run, now a single, and Jimmy Key has had a rough first inning.
You see the ST, that means straight away. For instance, for a guy like Sandy Alomar, they will be playing him straight away, and a pitcher tries to pitch to the defense. Obviously, your defense and your pitchers have a pretty good idea about what that chart means, how to pitch, how to defend.
And the SLOPP would probably mean a slightly the opposite way, or slightly to pull for
Right.
PULL, obviously. Maybe later in the count they will adjust accordingly depending on what pitch is going to be thrown.
Now David Justice 1 on 1 out here in the first inning. Indians looking for a big first inning in support of Charles Nagy, who will be on the mound in the bottom of this first.
Now all that information is entered into a very expensive computer, and then a coach stands up on the top step with a towel.
Williams running, got a great jump and steals second. He stole 12 during the regular season. That's his first in this postseason.
Prior to this season, his high for steals was 7. Well, Matt's not only getting stronger, he's getting quicker. He had to read something off Jimmy Key then. Key lifting up that right leg. Matt Williams took off. He went to the plate, and Williams has his first postseason stolen base.
Now in second with 1 out, and Justice is drilled on the front hip. Second hit batsman of this first inning for Jimmy Key.
Well, he was trying to sink a fastball inside to David Justice and got it way in there, clipped him on that right thigh.
Ouch.
Well, we can laugh about it because we're sitting up here, but that does not feel good. Fortunately, it hit him in a very fleshy part of the body, that thigh. That'll leave a nice bruise.
Second hit batsman and the first 5 hitters. Very uncharacteristic of Jimmy Key.
He hit 5 during 1997. And now with 2 on 1 out, here's Sandy Alomar. And there's a strike over the outside corner.
Alomar, another right-handed hitter that we know has power to the opposite field. We saw him take Mariano Rivera deep in the division series to straightaway right field on a fastball out over the plate.
Williams and Justice aboard. And over the inside corner on Alomar, 0-2.
You can see Brady Anderson right there, the center fielder. When he shades off one of the shoulders of the pitcher, is actually playing straight away. The reason that they don't play totally straight away is they want to see where the catcher sets up to give themselves an extra jump.
0-2 to Alomar. The opposite way, tough play for the other Alomar. And the short hop pickup by Palmeiro, 2 gone. Sandy to Roberto, and a terrific play by Roberto to his left, 2 out.
They're watching this Baltimore team make great defensive plays is nothing new. Roberto Alomar ranging far to his left. That's no way to treat a brother. Come on.
That's the play they used to have in the front yard of their house down in Puerto Rico.
Nice pickup by Rafael Palmeiro at first base at the end of that play.
The runners did move up to second and third. They're there with 2 out here in the first inning, as Tony Fernandez digs his way into the batter's box. Hit 11 home runs during the regular season. Does have 4 RBIs in this postseason, but just 2 out of 11. Looking for that key 2-out RBI hit. Strike 1.
Key with a lot of fastballs in this first inning. I really thought that they would go more to breaking balls and changeups, especially through the middle of the Cleveland order.
Well, again, the speed of Omar Vizquel affects teams in different ways. The pitch out and then the changeup. He is in the hole to Ramirez. It's 2-0. Then he misses with the 2-0 pitch. And on the 3-1 pitch came the home run.
That's a ball outside, 2-1.
Very difficult for a team to combat the stolen base with a power hitter at the plate. Ball behind him, run the risk of a long ball.
Runners at second and third, 2 out here in the first inning, and Fernandez comes up empty, 2-2.
Chases this up the ladder fastball. Just let him right out of the strike zone, up and away. Fernandez with a very defensive swing. Now he will definitely have to fall into a defensive mode up there at the plate.
That clipped Fernandez, I believe. It gets away from Hoyles. Now the home plate umpire finally calls dead ball to signal that Fernandez was indeed hit, and the runners will return. It'll be bases loaded, 2 out, and that's 3 hit batsmen here in the first inning.
We don't have that in front of us, but that's got to be some kind of postseason record. 3 hit batsmen, first 7 hitters.
And this one on a breaking ball from Jimmy Key. Tries to snap off a slider on the inside part of the plate and clips Tony Fernandez on that back leg. Little confusion initially. Nobody was really quite sure around home plate, but home plate umpire Jim Joyce took a look to the third base umpire, Larry McCoy, and I think Larry McCoy signaled to him that yes, indeed, it did hit the batter. You see it clip him on the right knee.
Matt Williams, of course, taking no chances, but once the ball hits the batter, the ball is dead and runners cannot advance.
And a visit from Ray Miller, the pitching coach, out to talk to Jimmy Key, who's huffing and puffing through this first inning. A hit batsman, a homer. A single, a hit batsman, a ground out, a hit batsman. And now with the bases loaded, 2 out, it's going to be up to Kevin Seitzer to make this a huge Cleveland first inning.
And you heard Steve Lyons talking in the pregame show that Kevin Seitzer was in the lineup because he's a good opposite field hitter tonight. Great situation for him to break this game open early.
What that tells you is he didn't have many hits during the regular season. He will spread them around, bases loaded, 2 out, and he takes ball 1.
Seitzer straight away adjusts slightly opposite field.
Play him straight away in the outfield. Pick off play at second, and they nearly got justice.
A lot of times when a guy is hit like David Justice, his leg's still sore. He gets a little bleed off of second base. You try to pick him off, playing on the injury, and it was very, very close. Watch Alomar. Very close.
That was the timing play. You could see Chris Hoyles drop the catcher's mitt. Jimmy Key goes into his stretch position, never looks at second base. The key to the play is Chris Hoyles timing Roberto Alomar's break to second. He drops his catcher's mitt. Key turns and throws.
Now 2 balls, no strikes on Seitzer. And Jimmy Key, who lasted only 4 2/3 innings in his divisional start against the Seattle Mariners, was a loser in game 3. Has to come into Seitzer with the bases loaded, 2 out here in the first and 2 runs already home. And he can't. It's 3-0. The numbers for Seitzer with the bases loaded. 3-0 pitch, taking all the way, 3-1. Scott Kamenecki getting ready for the Orioles in their bullpen. Seitzer taking again, full count.
That, by the way, is a postseason record. 3 hit batsmen in 1 inning. Wow.
With the runners going, Seitzer fouls it away. Charles Nagy hoping for more here in the first inning with the Indians already leading by 2 on a home run by Manny Ramirez. The runners will go again. And Jimmy Key avoids a tremendous first inning with that strikeout of Kevin Seitzer. That swing produced the only runs in the first.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
As the years go by, some slow down and take it easy. Some don't.
Like a rock,
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
like a rock.
People smile and tell me I'm the lucky one, and we've just begun. Think I'm gonna have a son. And in the morning when I rise, you bring a tear of joy to my eyes and tell me everything's gonna be alright.
Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
To impress the gentler set, one mustn't allow perspiration to run amok. Thus, new Right Guard Clear Stick, a new superior approach to powerful protection. All the wetness and odor protection of a white stick, now in a powerful clear stick. So clear, there's no flaky white stuff. Now perspiration hasn't a chance with this new advance. New Right Guard Clear Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Bottom of the first inning, the Indians take the field behind Charles Nagy with a 2-0 lead. Thanks to a home run by Manny Ramirez. A look at the Orioles lineup. They lead it off with Brady Anderson in center field. At second, it's Roberto Alomar, career LCS 347 hitter. Batting in the 3 spot, it's Eric Davis. He was not in the starting lineup last night with Palmeiro cleaning up. B.J. Surhoff in left, Cal Ripken at third. Harold Baines is the DH again. Chris Hoyle's in the lineup tonight with Mike Bordick at short, batting in the 9 spot. And a look at the Indians defense. 16 combined gold gloves for those players with the little gold arrow to the left of their name. And that defense works behind right-handed starter Charles Nagy.
See Nagy's numbers for the season, Tim mentioned earlier, very similar to Jimmy Key in the fact he needs to work that sinker on the outside corner to the left-handed batters. He needs to get ahead in the count so he can use his split-fingered fastball.
I think that's a key with Nagy's success tonight. Can he get ahead of the Baltimore hitters?
Brady Anderson took the first pitch out of the ballpark here last night in the bottom of the first inning. Off right-hander Chad O'Jay, and he goes up there hacking away again. That's strike one. We look back at the division series in 1996 facing Charles Nagy. A leadoff home run for Brady Anderson. The Orioles won that game 10-4 in the series 3-1.
That home run against Nagy was on a breaking ball. Home run last night was on a breaking ball. Tonight he starts him with a fastball, gets a swinging strike.
Brady Anderson, the only player in postseason history to have 2 leadoff home runs. One last year, one this year. It's been done 22 times.
Nagy falls behind, 2 balls and a strike. Alomar and Eric Davis will follow. Off the end of the bat, 2-2. Davey Johnson has guided yet another team into the postseason. He is putting up some big numbers in his career as a manager in the big leagues.
All Davey does is win.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and Anderson shoots it foul. Upper tank, but very foul.
Scouting report on Charles Nagy. May look somewhat familiar. Fastball good enough to keep you honest. Got a nasty slurve. If he keeps it down, it's very effective. The split finger we mentioned. And the same note that we had on Jimmy Key's scouting report. He must establish good location in the strike zone down low.
Slurve, a very descriptive term. It's about halfway between a curve and a slider. About a 3/4 curveball is what it is.
We will see Eric Davis here in the first inning. Anderson had to get a new bat and now has a full count. Anderson leading off and grounding to first for Kevin Seitzer. And the leadoff man for the Orioles is gone. That'll bring in Roberto Alomar, batting in this 2 spot, 1 for 3 with a home run here last night.
Alomar hit a breaking ball as well last night for his home run. I don't think Nagy uses that slurve very often on the left-handed hitters. He tries to throw the sinker away, occasional fastball in, and the split-fingered fastball.
Here's that breaking ball to Roberto Alomar last night from Chad Ojai. And hit in just about the same spot that Brady Anderson went deep. That was a 2-run shot and a 3-0 lead. Alomar the other way. Bit Roberts at the wall to make the catch. 2 out.
Well, the players that play in Camden Yards on a regular basis know that you do not have to pull the ball in this ballpark to have success driving the ball into the seats. Sinker low and away, actually a pretty good pitch. Alomar doing a little bit of posing there. I think he thought he hit that better than he did.
Here's Eric Davis hitting third tonight. The season hit .304, only 8 home runs, 25 RBIs. 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's that Madonna song? Vogue. Vogue.
He struck a pose, sure.
Yes, he did.
2 out, nobody on. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Davis off the hands into left center field. Charles Nagy goes right through the Orioles. 1-2-3 here in the first inning. We played 1 in game 2 and the Indians lead by 2.
What are you doing?
I'm figuring out what our website should be. We could have a spinning logo like this one, or a flaming logo. It is cool.
You know what would be a great idea? If people with PCs anywhere could order our products, and that was all tied together, inventory, billing, vendors, you know, the works, then that would change everything.
I don't know how to do that.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $99. That's right, any size, any 4 35,000-mile tires, just $99 at Pep Boys now.
Speak freely on Monday nights.
It's not the dress that makes you look big. It's your hips. Mama?
Sure, she thinks you're cute. You're rich.
Visit. Ah!
Now switch to Sprint Sense and get free long-distance calling on Monday nights.
Yeah, I have seen cuter babies.
Bob, you're not fooling anyone. It doesn't even look like hair. No.
Oh, boy. When Sprint said speak freely on Monday nights, I don't think that's what they meant.
Get your Monday nights free. Call now, 1-800-PIN-DROP.
Hello from Plank Road Field, where the guys are getting a little inspiration from Coach Lou.
We must win today. Losing is not an option. Do it for the love. But most of all, do it for the beer.
As we all know, the beer is Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. Thanks, and enjoy.
That boy's a locomotive.
What's more beautiful than the love between 2 people and a dog?
This is a sick relationship even for you. Kick Snoopy to the curb.
A brand new living single next Thursday at 8/7 Central.
Twos all over the place. Game 2, second inning, 2-0 for the Indians, who got 2 hits in the first inning, including a 2-run shot by Manny Ramirez. Tonight's overhead shots courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Stars and Stripes, based in Pompano Beach, Florida. At the controls, Captain Dick Ash from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Happy to have them with us. Here's Marquise Grissom with a base hit to right. Second hit of this ALCS, and here come the Indians again here in the second.
A great approach by Marquise Grissom, taking that fastball away, shooting it into the opposite field. If the Indians offensively continue to do that, Jimmy Key is going to be forced to make an adjustment. Start throwing more fastballs on the inside part of the plate. Start bouncing some change-ups and breaking balls.
There's Bib Roberts at the plate. 1 on, nobody out. And strike 1.
It's a good point, Bob, because with a guy like Jimmy Key, your pitcher and your catcher, you try to look at how the lineup is approaching the pitcher the first time through the order. If they're trying to take a guy like Key whose ball tails away from right-handed batters the other way, then he has to make the adjustment inside. As we look at that graphic, 8 first-inning home runs allowed. That's a lot of home runs in the first inning, and 1 here tonight, too.
Ray Miller, a little different body language tonight than last night with Scott Erickson. Rolling right through the Indians lineup. Jimmy Key faced 8 hitters in the first inning, hit 3 of them. The Indians left the bases loaded. And now Jimmy Key is allowed a leadoff hit to Grissom here in the second. Key making his 11th postseason start. And strike 2 on Bib Roberts.
You see Jimmy Key went with the slide step right there. Chris Hoiles had called for a changeup, a pitch that takes a little bit longer to get to home plate. So to counteract that, Jimmy Key goes to the slide step so he can get the ball to his catcher a little bit quicker, knowing the pitch is going to be off speed.
He can also afford the slide step because he's not a power pitcher. It works more into his style of pitching than a power guy.
Good look at Jimmy Key's pickoff move to first base right there. Mike Hargrove said the Indians were going to run if they had opportunities, even though Key has the good pickoff move. And you figure with that tailing fastball to the right-handed hitters, it'd be a good opportunity to play hit and run tonight a lot.
Rolling away for ball 1 on Roberts. Mike Hargrove's just a guy you sit down and talk with, and he will just tell you just like it is. He doesn't coat anything with any extra words. He'll just come right out and tell you, and he's a very honest man, both with the media and with his players, more importantly. If he didn't like something, he'll tell you.
Mike saying that with the mix he has now with the Cleveland Indians, a different mix than he had 2 years ago. Get rid of Albert Bell, but you end up breaking your team record for home runs in a season. 220 home runs by the Indians this year, the second most in the AL, second to Seattle.
Mike Hargrove also talking about how he's able to enjoy it a little more this time around, even with all the pressure of the postseason.
Another pickoff attempt at first base. Marquise Grissom getting a pretty good read on that move. Jimmy Key's used a couple of different moves, as you see, answering the bell. Albert Bell with 48 homers, 148 RBIs last year, and what the Indians lineup has been able to put together following that.
1 on, nobody out, and Roberts the ground ball to Ripken. Only play at first, close but out. 1 away. Well, a record that Jimmy Key wants no part of. The postseason, 3 hit batsmen in the first inning.
Well, Omar Vizquel doesn't want any part of it either, nor does David Justice or Tony Fernandez.
Who got it the worst?
I'd say Justice. The ones on the leg tend to cramp up a little bit as the game goes on.
Especially if you're a designated hitter like Justice is, he doesn't have a chance to go out and loosen it up by playing defense.
Now Vizquel, a little pop-up into shallow left. In comes Surhoff to make a diving catch for the second out.
What a play by by B.J. Surhoff. He and Bordick were unsure as to who was going to get the ball. Watch the look. There's Bordick looking, and watch Surhoff look again. And finally, he makes the play. A fine play by B.J. Surhoff on the little looper by Vizquel.
It almost looked like he read the body English of his shortstop when Bordick veered off out of his peripheral vision. B.J. Surhoff could see that the shortstop was not going to make the play. He took another couple of hard steps and made a nice sliding grab. He doesn't get enough credit for the defense he plays out there in left field. He is really a solid left fielder. Very accurate, strong throwing arm, and will come up with an amazing play like that once in a while.
Here's Manny Ramirez, who went deep into center his first time up as he takes ball one. To be fair to say, the Indians have to take advantage the ineffectiveness of Jimmy Key here early, because he has that ability to settle down and start hitting spots. When he's not locating pitches is the time you have to go get him.
Well, we've seen him start to use the changeup a little bit more this inning.
1-1.
The ground ball to third base by Bip Roberts was on a changeup. Got him well out in front, topped the ball right down to Cal Ripken.
Thing you want to do with Ramirez, you want to pitch him inside. You noticed how Scott Erickson pitched Manny last night. Got to tie him up.
Already over 40 pitches for Key, who's trying to get around a leadoff hit by Grissom here in the second. Alomar in behind the runner, but Key not willing to risk a wild throw with Grissom on the bases.
Bob, you mentioned before the game, Mike telling us before the game this evening that the Indian hitters would try to stand closer to the plate to take that outside fastball away from Jimmy Key. And Ramirez appears closer than he was last night.
That's out of play right side for strike two.
Well, what that does, it takes that pitch on the outside corner, and now suddenly that becomes the middle of the strike zone because you're standing closer to the plate. If Jimmy Key wants to stay away from your power, he has to go out of the strike zone. And then at that point, it's up to you as a hitter to be disciplined enough to lay off that pitch.
Or if he notices it, he has to come inside to get you back to where the fastball away is effective.
The ball and 2 strikes on Manny Ramirez with a runner at second, 2 out. Davey Johnson telling us before the game that Jimmy Key will pitch this game 2, and that's it for Key in this ALCS. At least that's the plan right now. Grissom at second with 2 out, and that in off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The danger you run into as a hitter making an adjustment like this, moving up on the plate, sometimes you lose your strike zone, especially on that pitch inside.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Missing low and away, and a full count now on Ramirez with Matt Williams waiting on deck. This crowd here at Camden Yards awful quiet here at the start. Trying to get into it. The Indians got too early on a home run by the man at the plate. Strike 3 over the inside corner. And Key runs one inside, caught the corner, strikes out his 3rd of the night. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Cleveland.
Chevy Venture gives you flip and fold seats, because you never know when a little extra room is going to come in handy. The all-new Chevy Venture is here. Let's go.
Life on land is dry. So pack your bags, because your mouth is going on vacation. Book your shrimp adventure. Fried, scampi, and the destination of your choice for $9.99. Right now at Red Lobster, because life on land is dry.
Is your brush working as hard as you? The Advantage can from Oral-B, the brand more dentists use themselves. It has micro-textured bristles designed to clean plaque with a whole bristle. With increased cleaning surfaces, each bristle works harder. The Advantage from Oral-B.
Something big is cooking at theaters everywhere. Isn't it time you got your fill?
Go back and see it again.
Of soul food.
The movie was a 10.
There's plenty for everyone.
Fantastic.
Rated R. Come and get it only in theaters.
Friday.
What was that? That, Congressman, was a signal.
Time.
Whatever is generating these signals is getting closer.
4.
I know that you're receiving signals from deep space because I'm hearing them too.
Contact. An all-new Visitor, Friday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
The 1997 American League Championship Series on Fox is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Nike. And by IBM, solutions for a small planet.
Welcome back to Baltimore as Charles Nagy goes to work, trying to protect that 2-0 lead here in the second. We remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the express written consent of the Commissioner as we play here in the second inning. And Palmeiro comes up empty with Nagy running the ball low and away for strike one. Palmeiro, Surhoff, Ripken. Middle three in the lineup after the Orioles went in order in the first. Strike two.
0-2 on Rafael Palmeiro. It should be 2-0. The first pitch outside, the second pitch was high. That's the ball up and in. And obviously most hitters, almost all hitters, are vulnerable in that spot, and low and away also.
This time Palmeiro lays off 1-2.
He's going to swing at balls, don't throw strikes. Palmeiro's been very, very anxious the last month and a half of the season, swinging at too many bad balls.
2-2. That's foul and nearly picked off John Stearns. And he flips some more sunflower seeds in his mouth and says, go get him, Rafi.
You know, it's interesting. He didn't have good swings at the first two balls because they were out of the strike zone. The minute Nagy threw a strike, he hits a rope.
Struggled in September, and in this postseason, just 3 out of 16. Nagy does not get the corner full count.
Boy, throughout the course of this at bat, you can see Nagy going to those blue areas on that hot zone. Down low and away, up and in, tried to go in with the breaking ball that Palmeiro pulled foul.
That's pulled down the right field line fair. Ramirez over to dig it out, kicks it out in the corner, and Palmeiro ends up at second to start the second inning.
I think Ramirez overran that ball. It looked like the ball hit him on the heel of the glove. This ball hit very hard down the right field line. Palmeiro gets a fastball, smokes it. Watch Ramirez.
I think this should be ruled a hit and an error. Ramirez bobbles the ball down there in the corner, and Palmeiro had stopped around first base.
That's right.
And didn't attempt to advance until he saw the ball come loose down there in the corner.
I agree with you, but it's ruled a double. But there is no doubt that Palmeiro was willing to hold at first.
Right there, that hesitation, conceding first base, forgetting about second, but he saw the bobble, then went to second.
So a leadoff double now, B.J. Surhoff into center field, well hit. Grissom back to get it. Palmeiro tags and moves to third. He's there with one out.
B.J. Surhoff is a notorious first ball, high fastball hitter. Very rarely will take that fastball up in the strike zone on first pitch. Drives the ball deep into center field. It's a sinker pretty much right down the heart of the plate, but Surhoff is always ready for that first pitch.
So now for the Orioles, a runner at third with one out. And Ripken at the plate. Crowding him inside, catching the inside corner, strike one. Ripken 1 for 3 in game one last night. 1-1. Orioles down by 2 in the second, trying to get on the board. Runner at third, one out. And strike 2 on Ripken. And just like you guys talked about last night, everything has been in on the hands of Cal Ripken.
Time up, good low ball hitter, the ball down and in. You move it up 6 inches and you're jamming. Tailing fastball, actually off the plate inside.
Nagy looking for his first strikeout. Side off the plate, 2-2.
Just continuing to pound Ripken inside. That slider away right here after setting him up with all those sinkers inside. Try to go away with a breaking ball.
Wouldn't chase, full count.
Back inside.
Into left field, track, roll, tie game.
Right in that down and in hot zone for Cal Ripken. Didn't tail inside as far as the other pitches earlier in the sequence. Cal buggy whips it down that left field line.
That's the problem with pitching anybody inside. You really have to lift the scope. You don't jam guys down and in.
You got a call from the president right there.
1 ball, 1 strike on Harold Baines.
Bill said nice hitting, right?
Talked about it last night with Ripken. Bad back and all. Steve Lyons talked about it in the pregame show. The disc problem. Knowing that body of his better than anybody and saying, I'm still capable of carrying my teammates, and he's done that in this postseason. He's had a lot of help, but he's been right there in the middle of everything for the Orioles. Still 1-2 on Baines. Ripken ties this game at 2 here in the second. And a weak tap by Baines as Nagy takes care of it. 2 gone.
Let's take a look at Cal Ripken and the hit zone. We'll kind of superimpose that hit zone over Ripken's stance. Remember, the pitch down and in is that one on which he is lethal. And here's the pitch sequence right here. That is the hot zone. That's the home run right there that Ripken hit. And we'll give you the sequence after the pitch. But that ball down and in, you could see that hot area. And he ties the ball game up.
Now Hoyles with 2 out, nobody on, takes a ball.
Hey, Ripken has a swing from the right side of the plate, a lot like a left-handed hitter. You get a look at the sequence. Sinker inside, sinker outside, and then they just go back inside, pound him inside, try the slider away. He's not biting. And, of course, got that sinker down in the happy zone. Started to say Ripken hits a lot like a left-handed hitter.
He does.
Drops
right.
ahead of the bat on that low inside pitch very well. Doesn't handle the ball up very well. And generally, that's the way most left-handers hit. They like the ball down and in, have trouble with the ball up.
A rocket off the bat of Hoyles, foul. And the count's still 1-2.
I think in today's game, though, more and more hitters are becoming low ball hitters because umpires don't usually call that strike from the belt up.
Anything above the belly button is a ball, even though technically from the bottom of the letters to the belly button is supposed to be a strike.
That's well hit into right. Ramirez back to get it to end the inning. A leadoff double by Rafael Palmeiro. Cal Ripken with a runner at third, 1 out. After that swing, we're tied at 2.
Welcome back.
Why is it that your local Ford dealers have more repeat buyers than anyone else in town, including Toyota, Saturn, even Honda? That's because we've got what people want today. Superb quality, sophisticated technology, advanced design, and safety and security features. So with the most repeat buyers, we often say,
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Buongiorno e benvenuto.
Transworld One is our chance to make a really good impression.
A passenger's first thought when they step on board is, wow, all this space just for me. The food is fabulous.
It's a lovely service. You really have to experience it. Oh, the seat, it's so comfortable. It embraces you.
We think it's a luxury service at a business class fare.
All this and there's more to come. Transworld One.
From Transworld Airlines.
We want to be your airline. Au revoir et bon voyage.
You've got to be smart about how you shop. Then don't miss the last days of Ward's 125th anniversary sale.
I would love to get a refrigerator with glass shelves.
And wouldn't you love to get our absolute lowest prices of the season?
I need to get some winter coats for my family. When you're shopping for a big family, you know, you can't spend a lot of money. I like style, detail, quality.
Then come on, you only have till Saturday.
I'm there.
Shop smart, live well, Ward's. Don't wait.
Monkeys. What's this? CD crowd?
Hey, it's your old boyfriend.
Introducing the 97 Sportage 4x4 from Kia. Who says you've got to be rich to see the world?
Okay, Jungle Boy, your turn. Let's spin again.
Oh, great. Cannibal Country.
Was.
Live post-game reports from Camden Yards tonight after the game on Fox 5.
2 innings complete here in game 2. Indians trying to even this best-of-7 series at a game apiece. Aggie gave up the game-tying home run to Cal Ripken. Indians have already left 4, and they bat here in the 3rd inning with Williams, Justice, and Alomar. 4, 5, and 6 hitters. A changeup and a foul for strike 1 off the bat of Matt Williams.
You see Matt Williams coming out of his shoes expecting that first pitch fastball. Jimmy Key throws in the straight change. Matty barely cued it off the end of the bat right there.
One ball, one strike.
Jimmy Key, before May 7th, was 9-1 for his career in this ballpark. Since then, he's 1-9, and that includes a postseason loss to the Seattle Mariners. It's a remarkable turnaround.
The wrong way as far as Jimmy Key's concerned, and high for ball 2 on Matt Williams, 2-1. Williams leading off in the third and taking a strike, 2-2.
That's that outside strike that Jimmy Key must get from the home plate umpire to be effective.
Two balls, two strikes on Matt Williams. And we'll do it again. Justice, who was hit by a pitch, will follow. Not only did the Indians get 2 runs in the first inning, they then loaded the bases, but Seitzer struck out. The Indians missed a chance for one of those breakthrough innings, getting only 2, and since then the Orioles have tied it. 2-2 on Matt Williams. Full count.
Matt may see what he saw on the first pitch, a changeup after that bevy of fastballs. Breaking ball mixed in. Fastball away.
And that's strikeout number 4 for Jimmy Key, as Matt Williams is gone here in the third inning.
With nobody on base, a pitcher will occasionally take something off on his own. And it appeared to me that Jimmy Key, even though he got the signal for a fastball away, didn't throw his best fastball. Took a little off that one, got Williams out in front again. And with no runner on base that's a threat to perhaps steal, you know, you can take a little off on your own from time to time without letting the catcher know it.
And with 1 out, nobody on, David Justice cues one to the left side. And no chance for Jimmy Key. An infield hit for Justice. He's on base for the second time tonight.
David asking first base umpire John Hirschbeck if it was a foul ball. John, of course, said no. Watch this ball just hug the grass.
Grown man hit that ball.
The marker, though, isn't it?
It sure is.
Putts count 2.
Here's Alomar, 1 on, 1 out. Sandy bounced out to second, was robbed of a hit by his brother Roberto. He has hit 2 postseason home runs here in 1997. That's off the plate and foul for strike 1.
Key using a lot more off-speed pitches here in the third inning. First inning almost exclusively fastballs. Has started to go more to the straight changeup, mix in a few breaking balls. Saw him take a little bit off the fastball on his own to Matt Williams to lead off the inning with the strikeout.
Struck out Manny Ramirez on the inside fastball in the second inning, so Key is adjusting to the Indians lineup.
Justice draws a throw. David has yet to steal a base in the postseason. Stole only 3 during the regular year. One ball, one strike on Alomar. Sandy Alomar Jr. against Mariano Rivera in the 8th inning. The game-tying home run tied that game at 2. The Indians would then win it in the 9th inning, forcing Game 5, which they won 4-3 over the world champion Yankees. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Alomar the other way. Roberto kicks this one, and the only play is at first. Roberto had dreams of an inning-ending double play. Instead, it's just the ground out 4-3.
Splinter City. Right off the end of the bat, carrying the bat handle about halfway down to first base. Second time in this ball game, he is grounded to brother Roberto.
Tent peg, that's what you end up with.
Yeah.
That little sliver of a handle with a sharp point on the end makes a nice tent peg.
Here's Tony Fernandez with the go-ahead run at second, 2 out here in the third inning. Tony was hit by a pitch on the knee his first time up. Trying to put the Indians back out in front here in game 2. He falls behind 2-0. Now 3-0 with Seitzer next.
Tony Fernandez with good numbers against Jimmy Key in his career 5 for 11 lifetime coming into play tonight. Of course, Tony Fernandez played behind Jimmy Key in Toronto for a number of years, so he should certainly know how Jimmy Key likes to go about getting hitters out.
Well, he swing on 3-0, taking ball 4 up and away, 2 on, 2 out. And Seitzer gets another chance. First walk handed out by Jimmy Key, and now Kevin Seitzer, who struck out with the bases loaded back in the first, has a chance to put Cleveland back out in front. Looking for his first hit of the postseason. And a strike over the outside corner. Little infield hit by David Justice here in the third inning with 1 out, then the 2 out walk to Fernandez. To the left side for the shortstop Porting. And Seitzer now has left 5 runners on base. We're only through 2.5 here in game 2. Indians and Orioles tied at 2.
Welcome to Park Avenue, a place of quiet power, a place of quiet confidence, a place of quiet refuge. On Park Avenue, there is no quieter place than Park Avenue. Park Avenue by Buick, the power of understatement.
I hate machines! Sorry, Rosie.
Why don't we go to the new Sprint store at Radio Shack, George? They have Sprint's easy-to-use products.
And the know-how of Radio Shack.
They even showed Astro how to use his mobile phone.
They could even help you, Mr. J. Astro has a mobile phone?
Well, oh, Rhonda. The new Sprint store at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Right!
What are you doing? You gotta use it right. Son, you got to dig deep. You got to dig deep.
Think back. Remember when you were 6 and we took you to McDonald's for your birthday party? All the kids, all the fun. All for you, son. For you. Remember that day, son? Remember when someone stole your fries, but we never found out who? Never found out. It was him.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
All they want is someone to go down for the crime. For 2 out-of-control cops.
The man in the car is DEA undercover.
The best place to hide
We're gonna find the killer.
is behind a badge.
We are the killers.
Gang-related. Rated R. Now playing.
How to speak Australian.
Elbows down, keep it clean. That's it, mate. The mum moves in.
Marriage counselor. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer.
Are these Playboys getting played?
call it what you will, but she made a black man blush.
Between Brothers returns with a brand new episode next Thursday on Fox.
Nagy back to work in the bottom of the third inning. Game tied 2-2. Here's your guy, Tim.
I love it. Wonderful. Look at this.
Guy's shaking up a cup of lemonade.
That's all it is, lemonade.
He used to work for James Bond, make those martinis shaken, not stirred.
He is a walking Cuisinart.
Spent 15 days on the disabled list earlier this year with a hip flexor.
Rotator cuff.
Here's Bordick, number 9 hitter with Brady Anderson and Roberto Alomar to follow. Trying to shake this crowd up. Bordick 0 for 3 in game 1. Now set up at 0-2. Nagy had a perfect first inning, went right through Anderson, Alomar, and Davis, 1-2-3. Then a leadoff double by Palmeiro in the second. A 1-out, 2-run home run by Cal Ripken Jr., his first ever in the postseason. That's low, 1-2.
Still a good sign for Nagy. You may remember the scouting report. It was very important for him to establish low in the strike zone, and if he's going to miss further down.
Blowing away here, 2-2.
That's the advantage you have when you get ahead of the hitter, because when a hitter becomes a defensive hitter, he's more inclined to go after balls out of the strike zone. Not trying to make it too simplistic, but that's what happens.
Bordick able to lay off, and from 0-2 to 3-2. Control obviously a problem for Nagy in his other postseason start this year. Walked 6 in that game 3 loss to the Yankees at Jacobs Field. Has yet to walk a hitter tonight. Bordick gets into one to left. Roberts back, has room, one away. The leadoff man is gone. And with that, we remind you, it's Saturday. It's game 3 of the American League Championship Series, as the scene will shift to Jacobs Field, where Mike Messina takes to the mound and leads the Baltimore Orioles against Orel Hershiser and the Indians. Coverage begins live at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on Fox. Orel Hershiser, with that effort in game 4, did not get a decision in either one of his division starts. But in game 4, Hershiser went 7 strong innings, allowed only a couple of runs on 8 hits. Gave his team a chance really to come back and win that game, force game 5, and it's the Indians here instead of the Yankees. Brady Anderson now with 1 out, nobody on in the 3rd.
Things will be shaking at the Jake at 4 o'clock on Saturday. There is no doubt in my mind that that crowd helped the Cleveland Indians beat the New York Yankees. Sometimes you can't tell whether the crowd, they're lending their support, but you really don't know whether they're the 10th player in the stands. There's no doubt in my mind that the Indians fans had something to do with the Indians beating the Yankees.
3-0 now on Anderson. Alomar next. 2-2 game in the 3rd. And on 4 straight, a walk to Brady Anderson.
You mentioned the 6 walks against the Yankees in game 3. That was in only 3 2/3 innings, and Nagy was very critical of himself for just nibbling too much. He didn't get ahead of the hitters, much like he did to Brady Anderson right there. Just refused to throw the ball over the plate.
Anderson on with 1 out for Alomar, and Roberto takes the ball up and away.
Generally speaking, it's healthy for a pitcher to challenge early and nibble late. If you get it reversed, that's when you run into trouble. If you nibble early, then the count becomes in the hitter's favor. That's when you get damaged, like Ramirez did to Jimmy Key on the 3-1 pitch.
To the second baseman, Fernandez. The flip behind him for the out on to first, not in time.
Look at that play. How about that, folks? That's a big league turn right there. They almost had Alomar.
Looked like almost a blind flip here from Tony Fernandez. He does take a peek, but that backhanded flip to Omar Vizquel and the relay to first makes it a very close play. You can see Brady Anderson stop on his way to second. He perhaps felt that Fernandez was going to try to tag him, but Fernandez just kept going on to the middle of the infield and pitching to a tailback right there.
To the 4-6 force out, one Gold Glover to another. And Eric Davis comes up empty for strike one. Look at the American League Gold Glove Awards at shortstop. There's Kellen Fernandez. That's at short. Fernandez playing second tonight because of that guy. Into left field, down the line, off the bat of Davis. Alomar will stop at second. Roberts kicks it out and left. His throw to the infield too late. That'll be an error, and it's second and third, 2 out.
Well, Bip Roberts has played a lot of left field this year, but he's not really strong defensively out there. Does not have a strong arm. He just loses this ball trying to make the transition from the glove to the throwing hand. Allows both runners to advance. Normally Mike Hargrove will take him out late in the ball game with a lead for defensive purposes.
Some errors are understandable because an outfielder needs to be aggressive. That was not an understandable error because Alomar had stopped at second base. Once you see him stop, be more cautious.
Now second and third, 2 out. Rafael Palmeiro at the plate, doubled and scored his first time up. And that foul makes it strike one. Still looking for his first RBI of the postseason.
And the Cleveland Indians must know something a lot of other baseball people don't know. 110 RBIs for Rafael Palmeiro. Eric Davis was walked to get to him last night. Brian Anderson struck him out. And now going right at him with first base open.
Runners at second and third and blocked by Alomar, 1-1.
One of the side effects of trying to pitch around the batter with first base open. Balls in the dirt could get away from the catcher. 2 fine plays by Alomar.
Back-to-back sliders down and in, or that slurve down and in. First one, Palmeiro swung over. This one a little bit lower, a little bit further inside, and a nice block by Alomar.
1-1 on Palmeiro. Over the outside corner for strike 2. Those numbers wouldn't support pitching to Palmeiro either. But they are coming after him with Alomar the runner at third and Davis on at second with 2 out. Tie game here in the third inning. Over the outside corner, struck him out, and a perfect time for Nagy's first strikeout of the night. We've played 3 here in game 2 in Baltimore. Indians and Orioles tied 2-2.
There are millions of reasons to fly today. Only one that matters to you. At Delta Airlines, it is our pleasure to get you to the place you want to be. Delta Airlines, on top of the world.
To Meet a guy who missed the boat.
Yeah, I didn't know so many companies were buying Micron computers direct.
I had no idea Micron had won over 200 product and service awards.
Who would have guessed that Micron made desktops, notebooks, and enterprise servers?
I didn't even know they were a leader in price and performance.
The guy in the mailroom knew.
You knew.
Hey, Tom, now you know. Micron desktops feature Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Looking for more space? Try the next Century. It's got the most interior space of any vehicle in its class. Because extra space is one luxurious touch that's appreciated by families everywhere. The new Century by Buick.
What would you do if you met the man who murdered your son?
I shot him in the back. Twice.
A brand new 413 Hope Street next Thursday at 9, 8 Central.
Still tied at 2 as we move to the 4th inning. And Bob Brenly, they pitched to Palmeiro, and it worked.
Well, this is what you can do if you make a hitter aware inside. Throws him 2 breaking balls inside off the plate, and then paints the outside corner twice with sinker balls. Perfect location on all 4 pitches.
The number 9 hitter, Marquise Grissom, leads it off, facing Jimmy Key, and he takes ball 1. Grissom singled and was left on back in the 2nd. Takes ball 2, 2-0. Really haven't seen Jimmy Key get into much of a groove yet. But the Indians have left 6 runners on. Into left field. Grissom's 2 for 2. So the leadoff man is on for Cleveland again. It's Grissom again, and we will give you a Miller Lite game break. Take you back to 1979. ALCS Game 1 against the Angels, and John Lowenstein takes John Montague deep for a 3-run home run that came in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Orioles would go on to win that ALCS, only to lose in the World Series to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
John Lowenstein, a former Cleveland outfielder, also a zany character who announced here in the Baltimore area for 10 or 12 years. Very, very funny man. Matter of fact, he's the one who coined the phrase that at first base, we're 89 feet from home plate instead of 90. There wouldn't be that many close plays over there.
One on, nobody out. And a ball to Bip Roberts, who's 0 for 2.
Bip Roberts with a long look down to Jeff Newman, the third base coach. Mentioned Mike Hargrove told us that he was going to continue to run even though Jimmy Key has the good pickoff move.
Grissom able to get a read as Palmeiro still playing in that in-between area between the bag and the runner. Rather close, but still Grissom on with nobody out here in the 4th. Indians got 2 runs in the 1st inning and a home run by Manny Ramirez, then left the bases loaded. Orioles tied the game in the bottom of the 2nd and a 2-run shot by Cal Ripken. His first postseason home run.
Every time Jimmy Key has thrown a changeup out of the stretch, he's thrown it with the slide step. I guarantee you if he continues to do that, it's going to be picked up by the Indians offense, and when they see the slide step out of the stretch, you'll be able to guess changeup. He really needs to throw a fastball now and then out of that same slide step just to keep the hitters honest. Just a pickoff move to first base, attempting to get Marquise Grissom.
You mentioned it last time, Tim. Grissom not having any problems reading that move, and there he goes. No throw by Hoyles, and Grissom is in at second with his first steal of the postseason. He had no trouble at all picking up the move by Jimmy Key.
A running jump at first base. Watch Grissom. The minute he picks the leg up, there he goes. The look back to make sure that Roberts doesn't make contact in the air. There's the look right there. No chance. A hurried throw by Chris Hoyles, and now you have to watch Grissom on at second base. It's not the time to try to steal third with nobody out, but with one out, it could be.
2 balls and a strike on Bip Roberts. Over the outside corner, 2-2. The Indians looking for that key hit. They've already stranded 6. 5 in scoring position, 0 for 5. Just missing. Full count now on Bip Roberts.
Hoyle set up on the outside corner. This pitch just a little too far off the corner. That's a little bit down.
Go ahead run at second with nobody out. Key gives a look back at Grissom.
The reason it's not a good idea to try to steal third with nobody out is because the hitter can move you over there. With one out, that's when you want to take the chance.
Roberts into right center field. Brady Anderson has to go back. Makes the catch, but Grissom tags and goes to third. Brady Anderson had a tough time reading that ball. It was a little better struck than he thought, and Roberts almost shot it over his head. It's the first out here in the 4th inning.
Just a fine job of hitting by Bip Roberts. The tailing fastball, he hits hard, and it did surprise Brady Anderson. Surprised us, too.
So with that grab, it was easy for Grissom to advance, and now the go-ahead run for the Indians 90 feet away with one out here in the 4th inning of a 2-2 game.
Davey Johnson has the middle infielders back right now. What has become fashionable in 1997 is the middle infielders don't advance until the pitcher is in his stretch. A lot of teams are employing that style of defense. Looks like the infield's back. Mike Hargrove doesn't squeeze a lot, but this is a combination where you wouldn't be shocked to see it. With the speed of Grissom at third and a guy who handles the bat at the plate like Vizquel. And Mike Hargrove telling us that Vizquel is one of the guys that he'll squeeze with. Doesn't like to do it a lot, but Vizquel is one of them. Excellent puncher. Jimmy Key with a quick step-off move to see if perhaps Vizquel would tip anything at the plate, or perhaps Marquise Grissom, the runner at third, maybe tip something off, but nothing evident right there. Inside, 2-0. It's interesting, Davey Johnson having the infield back in this situation. It is the 4th inning. You have a tie game. I think Davey has so much confidence in his offense to create big innings that he doesn't want a big inning against his team, and that's why he's allowing them to get the one run. Now 3-0 on Vizquel with Manny Ramirez on deck. Jimmy Key throwing a 2-0 changeup to Omar Vizquel, a batter that, although he gets the bat on the ball, he's not the kind of guy that's going to really tee one up on a 2-0 count. Picking very carefully the number 2 hitter with a dangerous hitter on deck. Go ahead run at third. And ball 4, high and away to Vizquel. Makes bottom of the 3rd, and now Jimmy. Ramirez freezes. You've got to wonder whether Key.
Okay, smoking?